I'll take a video today to show you what our garden looks like. I've just stepped out our door. There's the kitchen. This is our lemon tree, and I have something interesting to show you. Here's a potato plant that grew up into it. The roots are underneath the house down at the ground. And it's grown about 7 feet tall in the tree, and it's extending over here to this planter. Looks like about 5 feet horizontally as well. Now I'm going out to the garden. Here's our car park. And the container. This is the milking shed. So I have the peas over here. I have snow peas and yellow sugar snap peas and yellow snow peas. We're getting enough for a meal every maybe twice a week right now. We have the mesh held up with willow stakes that we cut from down by the river. And over here, this was supposed to be an onion bed. There are a few onions in it, but most of them died, so I let the volunteer potatoes grow and added zinnias and put dill in it. I have some cabbage and broccoli here in the corner too. This was the garlic patch. I've dug half of it, but it wasn't all ready, so I'll dig the rest of that soon. We didn't have enough of the wire mesh for the peas, so we made some supports for it by weaving branches. I have celery here and parsley and Welsh bunching onions and some sunflowers. The cucumbers are out to take over the world. And there are the zucchinis. I have more spring onions over here, and parsnips, and beetroot, and then the carrot bed with lots of dill. We have currants. Oh, and here's one of the black boy peach trees. There's actually some fruit on it this year for the first time. Right there, you can see a couple. They won't be ready for a couple more months, so. So there are the red currants and black currants, and I think I'm going to get rid of the red currants because they aren't producing much of at all. Black ones do better here. See if we can get through this area without stepping on anything. Looks like there'll be some more zucchini in a day or two. A very busy bee there. There are the carrots. More zucchinis. And these are an experiment. It's a couple of varieties of vining zucchinis, but I'm not sure I like those as well. They don't seem to put on fruit as early. And they go everywhere, just like pumpkins. This is Nathan's little garden. It's a metal tub. And the parsley self-seeded, so I left it there. Told him he had to leave it there. He also planted the potatoes. He has a tomato plant over there and some lettuces, a sunflower, and peas. That's that area. Here's the mower shed and the chicken run, which is empty. We'll go past the chicken house. Underneath this barrel boat is the sawdust stored there to keep it warm. Keep it dry, I mean. There's the back of the milking shed. Some more red currants, and I'm about ready to rip them out too. The gooseberry, which found a lot of fruit this year, but we didn't get to eat any because the children ate it all before it was ripe. Here's our large potato patch. I got started weeding it, need to finish that. This closer part isn't doing very well, probably because we ended up working wood chips into the ground because we had to get rid of the weeds somehow. And over there is a new potato patch, and it's doing really well, even though we never got around to weeding it. And here's the greenhouse. I have some tomato plants here that are starting to set fruit. There are some over there. I don't know if you can see them. There. Need to tie these up better. They're flopping around. I have melons. These are Cape gooseberries. They're kind of like ground cherries, only a little more tart. I don't like them as well, but someone gave me a plant, so it's here and it's taking over everything. There's the basil, which also isn't doing well this year. I can't understand why. Some more garlic. A neighbor gave me some huge heads of it this year in October. You're supposed to plant it in June. She gave me these heads in October, and they were starting to grow, so I just thought, well, I'll just plant them and see what happens. It looks like they're doing well, but they're not ready to harvest yet. Here are some peppers, some chili peppers. These plants are at least 2 years old. They overwintered here. And we had another cover over them during the winter. Ground cherries, self-seeded. There's our one watermelon plant. Here I have more rock melons. Here's a huge ground cherry. Some more dill that's self-seeded, and borage that came up by itself. A few beans I have in here that I want to save for seed because I can't count on getting seeds from the ones outside because it's too wet. Here's a silver beet plant that I cut back and it grew again. Cabbage, there's one that needs picked. It's split. And I'm not sure what these other plants are. They were given to me and I thought they were supposed to be cauliflower, but I'm starting to wonder if they're Brussels sprouts. And a pepper patch. And this is a popcorn plant. Nathan was using popcorn in his pea shooter out here in the winter. And obviously one grew. And my peppers, they were supposed to be bell peppers, the back it said, but they don't look like bell peppers to me. There, can you see that one? Right back there. It's a different shape. So we'll see what it's like. And then out the other end of the greenhouse, and here is our neighbor's yard. Isn't that pretty? Almost like a park right here. Here's our tomato patch, which Esther has been diligently keeping tied up. She spent several hours this week on it. I planted lettuce in between the rows. This one is my favorite kind, Freckles. And since I'm having trouble getting the seed now, I decided I'll save these first few plants for seed. And here's another kind of tomatoes. This is a kind that does not do well being staked, so we just let them flop. And this year we're experimenting with sawdust under them to try to slow down the slug damage. And here is the runner bean trellis. I have, I think I'm trying 6 kinds of runner beans this year. I wasn't planning to have that many, but then somebody gave me another one, and so I tried that too. And we're starting to get beans off them. We've had one meal so far. Here's another patch of ground cherries, which I transplanted from the greenhouse after they came up in there. And the tomatillos, I transplanted them from somewhere else where they came up. Let's see, here's a patch of corn. And the pumpkin patch. And yes, this is mallow. I have let it go to seed because mallow doesn't grow very well here, and it's a good medicinal plant. And it looks like there is a buttercup coming up in the middle of that. I need to get rid of it. Or no, maybe that's the parsley. Okay, I planted a parsley there. Here are my onion and leek seed heads. The silver beet. Here's a patch that I've planted leeks in for this year. They're just starting to grow, pretty tiny. I don't know if you can see them. A few radishes, the bush beans, lettuce for seed. Over there is the pumpkin patch, and they're taking over the world too. Good thing they're at the edge. That's our orchard. There's the black boy peach tree, a few blueberry bushes. On down the way, there's some hazelnut trees, and further down, well, all along actually, right there, and down at that end are feijoas. I put sweet corn along the edge of this bed. Here's the patch of brassicas. I have cauliflower, broccoli, and cabbage all mixed together here. And they're looking pretty bad. I think slugs have been chewing on them at night and actually pretty much killing them. Never had that happen before. But as you can see, the cauliflower is in really bad shape. And some of the cabbages. And here's our main sweet corn patch. It will be tasseling soon. Oh, there's one that is tasseling already. And a bit more lettuce, because I tuck lettuce in wherever I can. And there's more, dill. Lots of potatoes coming up in the corn patch because this was last year's potato patch. We tried to get everything dug out of it. All the volunteers, that's what the potato patch that's doing better came from. But obviously we missed some still. And this is our tulip magnolia tree, kind of the centerpiece of the garden. The children have swings under it and spend a lot of time playing there. So that's our garden, where we spend a lot of time. Joe just mowed it yesterday or the day before. I think Nathan helped him. And so it's looking pretty nice.